Hey, you guys, this is Rashanos for News, Views, and Conversations. Just want to pop in real quick and talk about Trump. I haven't talked about him in a while. He's never a boring story at all. I mean, he always keep the its up and keep the its going. So of course, I know you all have heard by now that he has invaded the country of Venezuela. So I know he had talked about before invading possibly Mexico, Greenland, and now Canada. Well, now he has really amped it up. He has gone into the country of Venezuela, captured their president and their first lady, and had them detained and brought them back to the United States in New York to have them face charges, I believe, on drug trafficking. I believe cocaine trafficking is what I'm getting. So we got a whole mess going on here. So now that he has invaded Venezuela, word on the street is he's even went out and pretty much said via CNN saying that okay, the other countries that are on notice, Cuba, Mexico, Greenland, and he hasn't mentioned Canada just yet, but they're pretty much getting ready for like whatever. And I mean, this just kind of goes back to what I've always said as I watched, the government, the country, everything that's going on in the world. The world is like a big gang, and we're seeing it firsthand right now. All the coverage that we're seeing, as far as, how he's been handling everything, like he's a mob boss, mafia boss. It is really a big gang. I mean, so what's happening is he is separating us from our allies, all the countries that the United States has partnered with throughout the years, work together to, try to create a better world. It's a big gang. So what he's doing now is making enemies, and they're going to pretty much turn against the United States. And I'm hoping, based off what he just did, that we don't get anything dropped on us. I'm understanding that 40 people lost their life on January the 3rd, 2026, when he invaded Venezuela to capture their president. So I'm hoping nothing happens here, but there's no way that they're going to let the United States get away with that. I mean, we all know it. This country has a reputation for being the bully. I mean, I would like to say um, white supremacy has pretty much been the base for the United States. And to me, white supremacy is narcissism. The bully is not a show unless they're running it. They want to be on top. You're not wanting to give other people a chance to be on top. Now, before he came into office, before President Trump came into office, other leaders, have made it to where other people can come from other countries, immigrants can come here to achieve their goals, achieve their dreams, the American dream, so to speak. But now that Trump is in office, he's leading a whole different direction as far as white supremacy. Now we know white supremacy doesn't believe in anybody else getting a chance. They are the top dogs. They are the lead. No one gets a chance to do anything if white supremacy is in office. So, but that's just my view of how I see it. White supremacy, uh, narcissism, um, white nationalism, neo-Nazism, all that wrapped up into one big wad. So crazy place. I didn't really think that he would do it, but now that he's touched down, I mean, the year we're only what 6 days in, January 3rd, he's hit the ground running pretty much, so they can go ahead and try to get done what they want to get done. But myself and a lot of other people are saying pretty much that yeah, he's not after just the cocaine trafficking, from what I'm understanding. They're there for resources and oil. And I'm also hearing information as far as them dropping bombs on Nigeria as well. Again, they want resources, their oil, whatever they got, whatever those resources are. Same thing for Greenland, I believe. Minerals, whatever they have, whatever they possess. And that's why I say it's narcissism, because whatever they can't get for themselves, they got to go try to get it somewhere else. They'll go take it. It's just like the devil himself: kill, steal, and destroy. So they got to take you out to get it. They'll do that, destroy you, whatever they got to do to get it, they're going to do that. And that's how the United States has always been run: taking from other countries, taking from other people, using other people to pretty much build itself up. And once it gets built up, then y'all got to go. You got to get out of here. We don't need you anymore. We are where we want to be. So, okay, now you can leave. And so that's, to me, that's what this is. That's what this shows. Um, you know, Now that they're in place, they're tired of watching other people of other nationalities, come over here and gain and become. Okay, ever since Obama was in office, okay, we're gonna shut all this down. Ain't gonna be no more, people of color coming over here getting this, getting that. We taking over and we're about to fill our pockets and do what we do. But I wanted to read a little bit of the news article that I pulled from PBS just to give you a little information on what they're saying in the news. Yeah, so we're gonna be here for a minute. I just keep saying to myself, and that's why I haven't talked about him in a while. I still got to do the Epstein files. Of course, what we're thinking as well, he's doing this to keep the rest of the Epstein files from coming out. I think they said it's like a million more um, documents from the Epstein files that hasn't been released. So we're thinking this is why he's doing what he's doing to, keep it where nothing comes out about that. But it's like it's too late. We've already heard about Bubba, which I hadn't got a chance to cover yet, which is supposed to be Bill Clinton allegedly. I've seen pictures on social media. I pray to God it's not AI, but yeah, there's a lot going on there. So again, people are thinking that yeah, he's pretty much, doing all this stuff trying to cause distractions or whatever it takes to keep from being found out about the Epstein files. So just want to give you a little bit of what I got from PBS, a little bit about what they said, all that's transpired and taken place. President Trump said a U.S. military assault succeeded in capturing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Cecilia Flores, both facing U.S. charges related to cocaine trafficking under newly unsealed documents. In a January 3rd press conference at Mar-a-Lago, Trump said the U.S. would run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, judicious transition. And we're already saying you can't run the United States. There's no way you're going to be able to go and collect up all these countries, starting with Venezuela, and run that. And then you're talking about getting all the other countries. I just don't see how in the world you're going to be able to go over there and do that, take those countries, and you think ain't nobody going to say nothing? This world's going to be on fire before they sit here and let you do that. I just don't see how that's going to happen. I think it's all propaganda for right now, but we got to see how everything plays out, of course. But that's the threat coming from him. MAGA's president. Trump also said Venezuela Vice President Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as an interim president. Trump said Rodriguez has had talked to the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and was essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Again, they keep putting their punchline on every country that they say they want to collect, making Venezuela great again, make Greenland great again. The fake propaganda they put up with the kids going over there, his children, acting like people want them to be there, and everybody's like, no, we don't. But it was all a lie propaganda. Okay, so same thing, different country this time. However, Rodriguez criticized the U.S. military action as brutal aggression on state television and called for Maduro's immediate release. So they're trying to get him released pretty much. He's pretty much said, he's not guilty. He hasn't done anything wrong. They're trying to get him back. And I mean, it's almost like, okay, what are y'all doing here? I mean, are y'all trying to get a do-over and say, we're not trying to take your country, but we just want what you got. We're trying to negotiate. But from what I remember hearing on the news, they were already in talks, but before they could, come to a conclusion of anything, they don't want to snatch the dude up. So here we are. The president, President Maduro. Maduro, authoritarian, has led Venezuela since 2013, succeeding and ideologically Hugo Chavez. So he pretty much like took his place, Hugo Chavez's place, who had been in office since 1999 under both men. U.S. relations with Venezuela frayed over foreign policy, oil, and human rights. In July 2024, Meduro declared victory following an election that international observers described as fraudulent. The country's opposition candidate, Imundo Gonzalez Uchecha, received about 70% of the vote. The tensions between Trump and Maduro escalated in September after the U.S. government began attacking vessels off the coast of Venezuela, deleting more than 100 people in what Trump described as an effort to thwart drug smuggling. So you see how he works? He's always trying to like use one thing and say, this is why I'm coming for you, why I'm trying to, come over there and do the rest of what I want to do. They got to come up with some kind of lie to say is this, but it's actually bigger than that. From what we understand, Venezuela is the biggest oil resource, and that's why they're trying to hit them. And I got some other information, got to still do some more researching, but they're saying that this pretty much right here will counter what BRICS is doing on the financial tip. and it'll keep the US dollar in place to where they can't just go to BRICS. They got to still come to them. So any deals that the other countries have had with Venezuela, China, pretty much, and any other countries, they got to do with the US. So they're trying to stay top dog pretty much. This is why they're doing what they're doing. So it's a big deal. You got to go through the rabbit hole, do your research, and get the information because it's all coming together, making sense. Like I said before, the world is a big gang. They're after resources and land. That's what this is all about. When a reporter asked Trump during the Mar-a-Lago press event whether he's spoken to Venezuela opposition leader Maria Corina Machado following Maduro's arrest, Trump said Machado doesn't have the support or the respect within the country. Of course, we know he doesn't like women, so he don't even want to hear about her leading anything. He's just focused on what they're saying that they're trying to, get done here, supposedly. Machado, who recently won the Nobel Peace Prize, Machado, who recently won the Nobel Peace Prize for the fight for democracy in Venezuela, had a 72% approval rating from Venezuelans, according to the March poll by Clear Path Strategies. So he's trying to down her and saying that she doesn't qualify. Well, I'm sure she does, just like Kamala qualified. But he has a thing about women. And another thing, this is a little bit off topic, but to me, men like him, from what we're understanding, he plays for the same team. In a lot of ways, they really don't like females. I mean, he has the wife to, play the part to make it look like he is into having a wife, but she's just, to me, she's just a prop, just to, for the image, for the whole illusion of he's president, so he has to have a first lady. Just had to throw that little piece in there because anything having to do with a woman, he detests. Just want to put that in there. Trump said without evidence that the United States' role in governing Venezuela won't cost us anything because U.S. oil companies would invest in new infrastructure in the oil-rich country is going to make a lot of money. This is what he says. Okay. So also, the administration's they didn't tell Congress pretty much is what I'm understanding. So it's almost like they don't tell Congress anything. They just go out here, delete people, do whatever they want to do, blow up people on boats. Could have saved people's lives and they didn't. They allowed people to perish. They just do whatever they want to do. So this is why, everybody's like up in an uproar, like, get this guy out of there, impeach, do something. The administration's lack of warning to Congress bucks laws and precedents. Mark Rubio said, members of Congress were not notified in advance because they didn't want them to thwart their plan pretty much. Trump said the administration was concerned about Congress potentially leaking news of the administration's decision to capture Meduro, so they didn't want it out. Senate Majority Leader John Thune praised the operation as a decisive action. He is a Republican. But congressional Democrats said Congress should have been notified in advance. Senator Tim Kaine, I think he is a Democrat for Virginia, said Meduro is terrible, but Trump put American service members at risk with this unauthorized attack. So he didn't agree with the fact that even though they're saying pretty much he's a bad dictator too, Meduro is, but still the way that he did it, the way he, set up the whole attack, he put, our military at risk pretty much. So yeah, this is crazy. But I saw one video the other day, and it was just saying it was Willie D, and I may end up using that footage for this video that I'm doing tonight. They were pretty much saying in Venezuela, the United States is not the police for the world. And I have said to myself, right, the United States is not the police for the world. White supremacy is not the police of the world. And if we're really going to talk about it, let's talk about it. This country is based off of white supremacy. And anytime they start to see anybody of color start to inchworm up, even just a nudge or a little bit, they got to do something to try to bust everybody back down because the goal is for anybody that's of color, you're here, and white supremacy is here. That's the only way they can stay on top. And the sad part about it to me is if you're looking at it that way, you guys pretty much white supremacy, you've gotten what you've gotten by stealing. You didn't get it by hard work. You got people of color coming from different places, different countries. Way back in slavery time or whatever, everybody had to work hard, had to bust their ass pretty much to get what they got. And then you say that we're lazy. You say that, we're good for nothing. We're on food stamps, we're on the welfare, we're on this and we're on that. Come to find out, they get more food stamps than anybody is getting. So how I see it is, in order for you to stay on top, you got to kill, steal, and destroy. What have you wouldn't got legit without having to take from somebody? And I think now in our time, in real time, now that we're getting a chance to really sit here and watch this and see this, everybody's like, oh my God, it's happening in our lifetime. We're getting a chance to see what we've always studied in the history books, how they came in, took the United States from the Indians, and boom, this is their land. This is their world. You do what we say. When you come over here, if you don't like it, you can leave. So now we're getting a chance to really sit here and watch this whole thing play out. The difference is this time, this fool trying to fight 6 different countries, damn near. Mexico, Cuba, Greenland, Canada, Venezuela, and there may be another one, I don't know, but he is Billy Badass right about now. But so like I said, yeah, everybody's getting a chance to see how this fool really gets down. He is white supremacy, and the rest of the fools that are white supremacy, pretty much we got the Klan running the United States, and they've always ran it. That's why January 6, 2020 happened, because they wanted us to know then, if anybody's going to run up in the Capitol, it's going to be us, and ain't nothing going to happen to us. And that's what they're showing now. And this is what happens when you keep letting someone get away with stuff. It just builds them up more and more and more to become more bold, more brazen, to keep trying more stuff. And this is why we are where we are. Of course, as I always say, we got to sit here and see how this thing plays out. And as I always say, the world is a big game. I mean, what's it you claiming? China and all the other countries are saying, you got problems, I got problems. They about to team up on the United States at some point. This cannot continue. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. I mean, that's just the rule right there. I mean, it's going to happen at some point. We don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime or what lifetime it will be. Nobody's going to keep letting you come up to where they live and take their stuff. Like you, Debo, and saying, that's my bike pump. And you're going to take it? This is these people's country, but you're going to come over here and try to run their world with your foolishness and saying you're trying to make Venezuela great again. I just don't see how that's possible, but just had to get this out. I guess when I finally get a chance to get to it, he's doing so much stuff. It's like every week since 2015, 2016, he's been showing out for a very long time. So it's always something new to bring, but I'm going to get to that to kind of go through, whatever I find interesting in the Epstein files. Like I said, I've seen the pictures. They just look real dark and eerie to me. So I can really tell a lot of darkness, a lot of sexual darkness was going on. So as soon as I get a chance, outside of all the other foolishness that he's keeping up, I will bring it to you. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I see all the views that I get, but I need you to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Comment on the channel. That pushes us out in the algorithm for us to get more, visibility for people to see us. Please do that for me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Sean Ellis Radio TV. Have a good one.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Hours after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was captured by U.S. forces, the country's vice president and other top regime figures condemned the military operation in stark terms and suggested that they planned to push back on U.S. involvement in the country, posing a potential threat to Donald Trump, your president, suggestion that the U.S. will run Venezuela. Give me a thumbs up, fam, if you believe that the U.S. will be running Venezuela from here on out. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, they ain't that weak, man. Them people gonna fight, man. It's gonna be hell to pay. I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. Check this out, fam. That's your peace march in New York City, people protesting the U.S.'s invasion of Venezuela. There's been some chatter in the background about how Venezuelans really feel about Donald Trump invading their country and kidnapping their president. People are saying that, hey man, some of the people there, many of the people there are celebrating the invasion. Others are saying, not so fast, we didn't want this, we don't want this, and we will resist. Check this woman out.
Libre y soberano, que viva Venezuela libre, camarada, que viva Venezuela de los patriotas, la Venezuela revolucionaria, la Venezuela del Chávez y la Venezuela de nuestro hermano presidente Nicolás Maduro Moro, camarada, y ya que las instituciones internacionales dejen de ser alcahuetes y se hagan un pronunciamiento real, porque están masacrando un pueblo que lo que ha querido es justicia, un pueblo que ha luchado por una vivienda digna, un pueblo que ha ayudado por la alimentación, cuando nos quitaron todo lo de nuestros hijos. Hoy en día le decimos a esas instituciones internacionales que se pronuncian, porque ese gobierno norteamericano no es la policía del mundo y los venezolanos lo vamos a demostrar. Esto no es con un presidente, es con un pueblo digno, camarada, que aquí está presente. ¡Que viva la patria de Bolívar!
Well, fam, there you heard it for yourself. That's at least one very powerful voice of a Venezuelan who says, no, man, we don't want this. You're not welcome in our country. Venezuelans have taken to the streets in rejection and protest against the United States military aggression towards them. Let me tell you something, fam. It's very sad to see some of the comments I've seen on posts regarding this invasion. A number of people who say that they're from America, you never can tell with the bots and stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised because you can put a mic in any one of those faces on any given day and a lot of them would spew the same ignorant rhetoric, right? It's sad to hear so many people think that this is a good idea. Man, he got 50 million tons of oil out there. We could use that oil. My neighbor got a Rolls Royce. I could use that Rolls Royce. Is it cool for me to go over there and just take it? Ah, that's the American way. See, that's why I believe that we have so much crime in this country. That's why so much crime and chaos and mayhem and anarchy. Yeah, anarchy. Because people in this country are descendants. Many people in this country are descendants of thieves, murderers, rapists. This is the history. And there are people who are living today who think that they missed out. They want history to repeat itself. They forget that hundreds of thousands of people died. People who had and shared the same ideologies that they did. It's like those people that fly those Confederate flags, and, they tap the swastikas on them and stuff. They forget they lost. The people who celebrated that type of thing, who championed that, they lost. And I'm gonna tell you something. Because many people that was on the right side of history saw what happened and saw how it played out, how many of these people were granted reparations. Like slave owners were granted reparations because they lost their stock, their commodity. Let that sink in, fam. They gave reparations to slave owners, not slaves. Woo, boy. And all that is that arrogance, fam. That arrogance is going to be humbled one day. And it's going to be humbled like nobody can ever imagine. Well, I can imagine, but many of them, they can't imagine how they're going to be humbled. It's sad that we can't evolve. We can't learn from our history. We're supposed to look back at history and say, you know what, we did this right, we did this right, we did this right. Let's keep doing more of that. We did this wrong, 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 this was wrong, this was wrong, this wrong. Let's correct that. Let's make sure we don't ever go back there again. Now, the dumb motherfuckers in this country, they like going backwards. They want to go back. That's where they get the whole idea of making America great again. Yeah, they want to go back. Anyway, fam, I also heard people that were, well, not heard, but I read comments where people were making fun of the lady's passion. Keep in mind, fam, what she just experienced. Her country being bombed for no reason at all but to steal their resources. Her president, the guy that they elected to represent them, being kidnapped. Their life is totally upended. For all of you out there who's thinking that somehow, some way, this is for the people of Venezuela, you're really slow and you should get checked out. You have no business even, I hope you don't have kids, because you're not smart enough to raise children. You know, this is bad. Ain't nothing good gonna come from this. There's never been a time in history where America so-called went and invaded a country to so-called liberate the people. And when America left, that country was better off. The countries were always worse off. The most recent evidence we have of that is Libya. Libya was a country where they had free health care for the people, free education. If you wanted to learn more in a particular discipline and you wanted to extend your education abroad, the government would pay for that. The government made sure that everybody had food to eat and shelter, because the government got it like that. But they made Gaddafi the bad guy. Absolutely, he was not perfect. Nobody is. But those people were way better off with Gaddafi than they was with the U.S. Once the U.S. came in, it was a wrap. They haven't been the same. The country is still not, it's not even 20% repaired. It's still in shambles. This is after the U.S. invasion, because it was never about liberating the people. Family, all you got to do is just use your common sense. You don't have to think deep on this, just think on a rudimentary level. If this country was serious about liberating people and making sure everybody had a fair shot, they would start right here at home. It's plenty of people right here in this country who have their rights violated on a daily basis just because of the color of their skin. Where are the troops? Where are the foreign troops coming in to invade the U.S. to make that right? Where are those troops? I'm still looking. I'm glad that that woman had an opportunity to tell her story. The internet has been a blessing and a burden for us. It's been a burden because anybody and everybody can get online and become famous doing something stupid. At the same time, anybody and everybody can get online and expose somebody else doing something stupid or doing something criminal, something illegal, right? I was gonna say pray for Venezuela, but we need to pray for the United States first. No more talk.